Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
All right, hello. We're so excited to be here today. We are going to be talking about red light therapy, which is something that we have wanted to cover for a while now. So we're excited. And then today we're going to talk about what it does, why it's popular, kind of the science behind it, all the research that we've done. We're going to talk about why brands matter. We're going to talk about our tips for integrating it into your routine, and some Q&As from the community and a few takeaways.
Yes, red light therapy is interesting because it's so popular. Well, it's becoming more popular, I should say.
Right.
It's becoming more popular. So a lot of people want to get in on the action. And so there's a lot out there. And I heard this quote listening to one of the podcasts about red light therapy that said, "We are starving for knowledge, but we're drowning in information." And I think that is so true about so many of these wellness tips and tricks and hacks. Is there's so much out there. Is how do you narrow it down to find out what you want for yourself? So our big things that we looked up that got us interested in red light therapy was the cellular energy boost. It helps with skin rejuvenation, and it helps with hormonal support, and it helps with mood and sleep enhancement and your circadian rhythms, and it helps with pain relief. So a lot of injuries or like circumcision,
post-surgery,
when you circumcision,
cesarean section.
Yes, C-section.
We're not dudes, Larissa.
I was gonna say that. Oh my goodness, two different things. Oops, my bad. So it's like interesting that they, like one of the podcasts we listened to, it said to put that on your scars and it will help heal. But then they said that you need to like not make sure your stitches are out before you heal because it could heal that quickly. And I was like, that is cool. That is interesting. But then, so pain relief and scarring, and there's lots of benefits to it. And it's non-invasive. So it's not like you have to have surgery for it or anything like that. So it does penetrate through the skin. So that's appealing to a lot of people because it's not like you have to take something. It's not something once you get your initial device, it's not something you have to pay for monthly.
Yeah.
So it is a natural.
Yeah. And I think it's so fascinating because I didn't really ever think about like light being
healing.
Yeah, like healthy or unhealthy for you. I mean, like you hear about like UV rays and how they can be damaging, too much of them, right? Sunburn, skin cancer, all that stuff. But also I started to hear about like blue light, which we were just talking about earlier, where it's like the blue light can actually like interrupt your circadian rhythm. Like a lot of people wear blue light blocking glasses, right? And so I'd heard about it in that context. But then when the concept of red light therapy came up, that it's actually beneficial to you, it made a lot of sense to me, but was a little weird to think about at first.
Yeah. Then diving deep into that, I was like, I'm clearly, and I could have some moral support in the blue light blocking.
Yeah, I think we all need some of that. I really should get myself some blue light blocking glasses because the people that I know, like even one of our sisters who uses them, swears by them. So like they really help. Especially when you're working on a computer all day, it really makes a difference. So, but then like the concept of red light therapy is you bask yourself like in this light, and it's supposed to actually penetrate your body enough, like your skin and things like that, to, cause like, skin healing and repair and boost energy, and all these things that it's like, it seems kind of crazy, but in doing our research like this, it seems legit. Like and we've even, my husband and I have been trying it because he got super into it before I did. And I do feel like he's had some injury recovery that he was using it for and swears by it. So it's very interesting. So let's talk a little bit about the kind of the science behind it. So the concept is that you either, stand in front of or use like a mask or something of red light, and the light, whatever equipment that you get to do this, typically has two types. It's got red light and then it's got near infrared light, right? And all of it was very technical in doing the research. So we're going to
very
keep
technical.
Yes. We were
if
like,
you really want to go like take that plunge into there, the Huberman lab like goes really in depth that you're like, I listened to it, I was like, it's like almost 2.5 hours. I'm like, man, 90% of that went right over my head.
We really had to study on this one, guys, okay? We did make a super cool sheet of like the technical specifications and things, right? So we will have that available in the show notes. So take a look at that. But for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to keep it higher level. And I kind of just want to talk about generally what it's going to do for you and kind of how it works, because I don't know, for me, I always come up with these dumb analogies, but like it really just helps me
understand.
I don't know. Yeah, understand, like process and put it into the bigger picture, right? Like it's a workflow thing.
I'm excited for your analogy because you've been getting really good at these. All right, I'm ready.
I've been practicing. Okay, so we talked about creatine, right? And the concept of ATP in our cells. All of our cells have ATP, and it's kind of like the currency of energy in your body, right? For your cells to operate and your body, like if you think of your body as like a major city, right? ATP is the currency of energy that runs these homes. You have like your skin homes, your deeper tissue homes, and your organ homes, and like all these different things, right? And so then if you think about mitochondria is what red light therapy is really supposed to be interacting with and boosting. So you would think of red light therapy being, okay, let me back up here. So you would think about ATP being your the currency of energy, whereas like mitochondria would be the power plant that pumps out the ATP, right? It produces the ATP that our body uses. And so think of red light therapy as like this shiny red delivery truck that like shows up and just like puts your power plant on like extreme production, right? Like it just boosts production like crazy. So that's the concept of red light therapies. It's interacting with your mitochondria and just boosting production. And so like your skin houses are just like glowing up, like fine lines and wrinkles are disappearing, and it's just glowing and looks beautiful, right? Whereas like your deeper muscle tissue homes and things are repairing injuries, and like healing happens faster, like we talked about, right? And that kind of thing. So anywhere that red light can get, it's really going to boost your mitochondria health, which is huge because there's so many things in our lifestyle that damages mitochondria. Like if you think about junk food, poor sleep habits, dehydration, again, like there's so many things that's actually like mucking up the works, you know what I mean? And so red light therapy is just another method that we can kind of keep things running smooth and give it a boost, which is fantastic. So
yeah, all the other stuff are more like road jams, like traffic, and they congest it and make it so it can't leave the power plant.
Exactly. All the little gears that are working in the power plant get gummed up and dust collects and all kinds of stuff. So that it really makes sense in my mind. I'm like, okay, so each cell like needs this power plant to function, and I am actively, by my poor choices in life, being human, am mucking up the works, and I'm feeling it. That's why I feel like junk. So
the more we can do to promote it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a fun way to think about it. But that's why like there's red light and near infrared light. I'm sorry. So technical. They do different things. So red light therapy doesn't penetrate, like the wavelengths are shorter. And so they don't penetrate the skin as far as near infrared light penetrates further because the wavelengths are longer, right? And so then near infrared light does more of healing, muscle repair, that sort of stuff, whereas the red light is kind of like the glow up, the anti-aging. Both have anti-inflammatory benefits, right? So it's fascinating. It was actually very interesting researching this one.
Yeah, well, that's what piqued our interest, and that's why we're like, ooh, we want to learn more about this so we can try it.
Yeah, and we've like found new products that have come out recently that we're like, okay, well, we got to try these, right?
Yeah, let's talk about the products. Like there was like some of the research we listened to, they were saying how like a lot of the times you just have to make it acceptable, right? Available to people on a regular basis. So you might have like a photo bed or mounted on a wall, or like the wall panels.
The panels, yeah.
But how many people really use it, because they're debating the difference between like a face one or a neck one or a wrap that could go around your knee, like depending on what pain you are. And a lot of people will do a wrap over standing there for 20 minutes, getting the full body red light exposure. So it's interesting. And then Fringe had that. They had some really interesting just for women where they had a wand. Should I talk about it?
Yes.
They had a wand that is actually created to go internal to help you with like inside things. Like, for example, the one that stuck to me was after having kids, like if you are having little accidents, like if you jumped on the trampoline with your kids and you had, a little
or you sneeze or cough, you sneeze. Right? We all know this stuff.
So then that is supposed to help with that, because that is not supposed to happen. So that kind of helps you heal on the inside, especially after having kids and all the different things that can happen with women and our internal biome down there. And that helps with that. So that was fascinating to me, because I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind trying that. And there's a lot of other benefits that they said. That's just the one that stuck out inside my head.
Like I thought it was interesting when they talked about like how it can help with like even like muscle toning and health, right? That you can have. And I'm like, that is so interesting, because especially as you get into like your 30s and your later 30s and 40s, like a lot of the thing that they talk about is muscle atrophy, right? Like there can be a lot of issues that if you don't address them ahead of time, that they can become issues later. And so it just seems like it's another one of those really great longevity things that could help just with your female health, right? And so I'm like, I want to try that.
Yeah, because it said that will help keep your pelvic floor strong and together.
Yeah,
so
toning.
Toning it. And I was like, oh man, that is great. I didn't even know that existed until doing the research for this podcast. And now I'm like, I want one of those.
Yeah, that's what I try.
They had wraps for your elbows or for your knee. And then another one that I loved that, again, I didn't know, was they have one that they're starting to do research on, but they have a brain one. So you put it on your head. And so if you know people that might be prone in your family or, dementia or Alzheimer's, literally they said to put it on and wear it every day for 20 minutes for your whole life. Like every day, put it on for 20 minutes. And so that was interesting, because our dad fell off a ladder and he fell back and hit the back of his head, which made the front of his head swell. And so he's got massive brain damage. And he was young when it happened, not youngish. And so it was crazy how much that has impacted his life. So we immediately were like, oh, we should get him this for Christmas so that he could put it on and help his little mitochondria take around the energy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's such a very specific issue. But I mean, and dementia and Alzheimer's, a lot of families genetically are afraid of that happening to them because they've seen it happen to family members, right? But then to have a traumatic brain injury, we've been trying to research anything we can do to just kind of help, even though he basically is a walking miracle, that he's as functional as he is based on the injuries he's had. But we're still so then we're doing this research and we're like, okay, here's another thing to put on the list that could potentially help. And this one's very promising. So that is exciting. We're definitely going to try it.
Yeah, it's fun to listen to the doctors talk about the promise of the red light therapy. So they're very excited that it's coming out and it's coming across. And it's becoming so much more researched and available across. But, were you going to say something?
Well, the interesting thing is I've noticed a lot on social media and stuff, right? You're scrolling and then there's all these claims of these products like the wraps that you put around and they show like big old stretch marks and stuff. And they put those wraps on and they really help them fade a lot. And so I want to try it. I really do want to get a wrap and take before and after pictures and see if that's legit or not. Because I have, started having kids 10 years ago. Was my first pregnancy. So I've got a lot of old and newer scars. I would really love to see what it does for skin tightening and scar tissue. And so that was the other thing that they did mention when we were doing our research was, like episiotomy and stitch scars and things like that, that it helps break up and repair scar tissue. So very fascinating stuff that I don't think that there's a ton of research yet, but all the healing and just basically boosting mitochondria can do huge things like we've talked about with intermittent fasting, right? When you are enabling your body to go into repair mode and you're fueling your body the way that it needs to, like taking creatine to boost your ATP, but then also doing red light therapy to boost your mitochondria production, your body can just do so much more than when we're mucking up the works, right?
And I think there's like, actually, it's been around for a long time. So I think there's actually decades and decades of research behind it. It's just now that the science, it's meeting up, the technology is meeting up with the science. And so now they're getting more specific into like the head wrap and,
right.
The pelvic floor wand or whatever it's called. It's interesting how they're just getting more specific, and that specific device doesn't necessarily have a ton of research on it, but the overarching red light therapy has decades and decades of very supportive, very safe research behind it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of risk to this one. If anything, it's just the investment cost in the actual red lights, right? And that's where we can really talk about how much brands matter, because there's a ton of companies out there. Like, I don't know how many of you get on TikTok, but I do. I have a problem. And they always have those ads pop up, right? And I'm like, man, this looks so promising where they're doing before and afters, but do we know if those are even good products? Who knows? And so basically in the research that we did, the brands really do matter, because there are a lot of those companies will send their lights to be third-party tested by specific labs where you get a certification saying, hey, this has been, third-party certified or something, that the lights are strong enough to actually make a difference without being dangerous, right? And so you really have to pay attention and like do your homework on the brand.
Because if it's not a good brand, it's a knockoff version, then you could be just staring at a regular light bulb that has a red film over it. So you're not getting any benefit. So then if you don't feel any benefits, it could not be correct. And if it's super inexpensive, like one of the brands, I can't remember which one was, EMR/TE Tech, Emmer Tech. They were saying how like one of their light bulb pieces is $600, and then like knockoff is like $60. But like that's just the difference between quality. You know what I mean? Like the $60 light bulb that he was talking about is not going to be the same quality as a $600 one, that is like intense. So it is really interesting to look at. Like you want to make sure you get the quality. If you want, like depending on what you want, you might want less quality, or not, less expensive, but you just want surfacey type things. But
right,
I feel like
just red light.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much, you just don't have that much time. So I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to invest in it and make sure that it is a good brand. I want to go to the trusted website and do my research, because as we know, we've talked about the last couple of episodes that ordering off of Amazon 6 out of 10 times, it could be fake. It could not be what it
for the creatine gummies, right?
Yeah.
Like 6 out of the 10 that were third-party tested failed, which is an uncomfortable number. So it makes you really want to do your homework on the companies you're buying from, for sure.
Yes. And a lot of the big name companies, especially if you look at their warranty, if they have a longer warranty, they're more confident with their brand, So like, Platinum LED has been around for over 15 years. And let's see, what's another one? The Light Slim brand, that has a warranty of 5 years on some of their products. So that's a huge warranty to have.
Yeah, that is.
Especially if it's something that you use every day. So that was interesting to look at the different brands on that too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, because I have a face mask, red light. That's actually how we started. Just trying to, help with like fine lines and wrinkles and stuff like that. I don't remember what the brand name is. I'll have to look at that, because when we got panels, like when my husband went and got panels, he did a ton of research, was Platinum LED. And so we felt pretty confident about that one, but I'll have to look at the face mask. That's I'm pretty sure it's a good one, but it was recommended by one of my coworkers. So
did you buy it or did Chris buy it?
I bought it.
So
I talked to him. I was like, hey, I think we should try this. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so then we bought it.
I don't think Chris would let you buy something that wasn't like vetted.
Yeah, he's very sciencey, a lot more than me.
He's very sciencey. Thank you.
Like, Chris, it's fun for him to read research papers. You know what I mean?
That is something I'll never say.
Nope. We like to learn, but we really like to avoid the very dry stuff. But we'll dive in if we have to. Okay, guys, like don't give up on us.
That's so funny. So true, though.
Yep.
But it is interesting that the different brands, and I think there's so many different products out there. So it's exciting. I'm excited for the new wave. Like I know that you have a wall panel and a face mask. I want to try a wrap of some kind just because I do have a son who is athletic and he has injuries all the time. So I would like to try a wrap that he could wrap around like his shoulder or his knee or whatever may hurt.
I wonder if I could wrap it around my knee, like my bum knee for my ski injury. I bet it would help. That's a big reason why a lot of people use it is for healing, like injury recovery, and just general pain and achiness, because it also helps with inflammation, right? And so, I mean, that's a good time to talk about tips, because the way that I integrate it, I've done a lot of research on how to integrate it into your routine, because trying to find a time that it fits is hard, because like I do 20 minutes usually. So like I'll do 10 on each side, you know, and what were some of the tips? There was also like
they said that it's skin. You have to have exposed skin. So if you have clothes on and you're standing in front of your red light therapy, like if you had a full body, panel, then you would want to try to be as little as possible. And then makeup, you want to make sure you have a fresh face. Like you can't
even
put a
like
red light
skincare
on.
products. Like if you have really thick lotion on and things, that's just a barrier. So the way that I do it that I think works really well is I will cold plunge first. And then that's like a shower, you know what I mean? And then I'll get out and dry off. And then I'll stand in front of the red light panel. And we have a vibration plate. So I stand on the vibration plate and do the vibration plate while I'm doing the red light therapy. And that's one that you're glad nobody's watching, because
I was doing it at your house and Chris walked down and I was like, not that, I mean, I was in my swimsuit, so it wasn't like, but I was like, because I don't want you to see all this stuff jiggling.
Right. Like this is not a good jiggle.
I was like, I don't care if my sister sees me, but I care about you. I still care about what you think of me. So
we've already seen too much, so we don't care about each other. It's kind of funny, but it does really help because I have a lot of hip pain, like sciatica, and like back, just carrying toddlers and, all this stuff. I just feel like I've had a lot of back problems since I started having kids. So the vibration plate really works with loosening up muscles. And then I do the red light therapy at the same time. So kind of it's like habit stacking, right? We talked about atomic habits. So then cold plunge, red light, and vibration plate. And what I also do is I do face yoga. That's my time to do face yoga so that I can just keep not be able to not snore so much because I want to keep my muscles strong, but also just keep a good face shape because you don't want to let your muscles get slack. So
give me an example of a face yoga that you do.
Are you sure? It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah,
there's one where you kiss the sky, where you're
and that keeps your face muscles from atrophying.
There's a whole bunch of them. You do the tongue where you tick tock like this. I have a whole sequence that I've just learned from little tutorials over time because I don't want to actually pay for an app because there's so many subscriptions these days, Larissa. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So try my app. Oh, by the way, it's $30 a month. And I'm I can't do this 12 times. It's too much money. So
yeah.
Anyway, I just glean what I can and I do those. And I feel like it's really helped as I've, lost the weight, cold plunging and everything. I do that too. Cause I just felt like you get the little thing here, and you want to keep the shape nice, which I feel like you have a really nice shaped face, but I know it was something that, just over time I had heard that it works. So then I try it at the same time that I'm red lighting and doing the vibration plates. I'm habit stacking all of these awesome things that really helps.
So could you meditate during that time too?
Absolutely. I've thought about doing that too. So on days that I'm feeling pretty good and I feel like I don't need the vibration plate, then I will just sit on it and vibrate. Meditate in front of the red light.
But couldn't you stand on the vibration plate and meditate still?
Yeah, you totally could. Could. For me, it's I just got out of the cold plunge and I've done a big visualization session in the cold plunge. And so I get out and I'm less in the need for that. It's really later when I get in the sauna. Usually that's my meditation space because I like the heat. It kind of reminds me of when I used to go to hot yoga. And it was very much wouldn't call it, it was kind of like meditation, but it was more like working out kind of whatever you were going through. Like it was a method to work it out. Sometimes I go to hot yoga and I would be feeling really good and just really strong and great. But then like a lady next to me would be sobbing on her mat while she's doing all the moves. And then I would come other days and I'd be so angry, Larissa, so unreasonably angry that I would just be imagining punching the yoga instructor in the face just for no reason. I'm like, why am I so angry? And then later I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Clearly I just needed to work through some stuff that was going on with me, you know? So anyway, that heat intensive was just really such a great way to just release a lot of whatever I was carrying at the time. And I feel like I kind of do the same thing with meditation in the sauna.
Wow, that's interesting. But I can see that. I can see that being very therapeutic.
Yeah, therapeutic. That's a good word for it. So anyway, so when I'm in front of the red light, that's kind of just a time that I'm standing there not doing anything. And so then I'll do my face yoga because I'm not doing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're so busy, and adding 20 minutes in for red light therapy is, sometimes it's hard, you know, when you add up all the little things that you do.
I know, it's a real thing. I love reading other people's protocols, what they do. And I'm like, okay, I want to see how you fit all this in.
Yes.
This is crazy.
It really is. It's so hard. So, but the nice thing about red light therapy is I don't do it every day. I mean, you can do it every day, but that's where like the mask is different. So like I could do the mask every day because I can just put it on before I go to sleep for like 20 minutes while I like, you know, read a book or watch a TV or something, you know, or listen to an audiobook. That's what I do a lot of times. But like the panel is kind of something I only do a few times a week, which makes it a little bit more manageable.
And I did want to say, going back to the brands matter, one of the podcasts we were listening to, he was talking about how the cheaper versions of lights, you don't know exactly if they're not certified or, you know, high quality, then you have to be careful with your eyes because you could cause permanent damage with your eyes on the higher end ones, you know, the higher end, the stronger ones. So they do give you safety goggles, usually in all of them, just to protect. But most of them, the not knockoff ones, the true ones, the legitimate ones are safe. Yep. But
and they're supposed to help your eyes, right? When they're the right levels.
Yes. So you have to be wary of that, because if they're fake, you don't know exactly what you're putting in your eyes.
Well, and even though we've done a ton of research into our red light panel, I definitely, when I'm standing up near it, because you were like 8 to 12 inches from the panel, I don't stare directly into it when I'm facing it. I'll intentionally look into it when I'm a little bit further back, but not right up there on it, right?
Yeah.
But the nice thing about red light therapy is it doesn't have UV rays in it. There's none of the UVA or UVB, so like you're not really going to get the sunburns. And so like
it does have
it's
a
just
little
nice
heat to it though.
It does. So like if you go for a crazy long time, like people have talked about feeling like a little bit sensitive skin, or a little red, but that's like if they're standing there for like, you know, like an hour or something.
Yeah. And then I could be totally wrong, Mallory, but I feel like when I was doing it at your house, you were saying that there's only a max benefit of 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it doesn't really matter how long you do it.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I want to say that's what you told me, because I remember thinking, it's just like the cold plunge when you said there's no more benefits after 6 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm out. There's not a second longer I'm going to be in there.
Well, it's like with intermittent fasting, right? Like once you get to 24 hours, like you've really hit your peak autophagy production, right? Or phase or whatever. It might have been Chris that told you that, because I don't remember that, but it's totally possible.
One of you guys, I remember thinking, okay, 20 minutes, you know, and then so I did 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. And then I was like, okay, good. And like it was kind of nice because it timed out naturally. And so there's not a benefit of going long, and which is nice because if you only do the 20 minutes, then you don't have to worry about the skin sensitivity or anything like that.
Yeah, I think one time Chris did the mask and he like hit the button twice and fell asleep while it was on. So he had the face mask on for 40 minutes.
So then
The next day he was like, oh, my skin's a little sensitive. I think I did the red light too long. And I was like, well, you fell asleep with it on. So
That's totally something I would do.
I know, right? It's so easy to fall asleep with it on because it does feel pleasantly warm. It
Very
doesn't
subtly.
feel hot.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's almost like a nice morning in the sun where it's not too strong, you know? And so a little morning sunlight, just a little hug, you know?
Yeah, that's so true. That's so funny.
I love it because I get out of the cold plunge and I stand in front of the panel and it gently warms me back up right after being freezing cold. So I think it's really the ideal pairing. But there's so many ways that you can work it into your routine.
Yeah. Well, the nice part about the wraps that are wireless, you can literally put it in your car. You could drive with it, you know, on days you have errands. That is it. Like, that's why the wraps or the mobile ones are kind of nice in the sense you can put them anywhere, bring them anywhere. You could travel with it. Whereas the wall panels, you can't travel with it. Even though the wall panels are better for your overall body, you're getting more of your skin, you know, exposed to the red light therapy.
Yeah, I like the wrap idea. I think it's just very versatile. So for people who, you know, like when you're budgeting and you really just need to get the most bang for your buck, I feel like that's a really versatile one. That or the face mask, I feel like is a great place to start.
Yeah. Just because my son is active, I think I'm going to start with the injury, like the wrap around an injury, and then eventually I'll add the face.
Yeah. I think I want to do the wrap next because I really want to do kind of a before and after. I've just been seeing those stupid TikTok ads for weeks, and now I want to try it. Dang it.
Oh, for your stomach?
Yeah, all my stretch marks. I want to see if it makes a difference or not. Like it's because literally we introduced you to, of course, K-pop Demon Hunters. Everybody, all the kids are obsessed with it, including my kids, which is why you guys had to watch it like 4 times while we were all together.
Yeah,
it is good. It's fine. But it's funny because they saw my stretch marks and they were like, Mom, you're a demon hunter, or you're a demon. And I was like, well, yeah, a little bit.
A lot of us moms are demons then, if that's what you're going to base it on.
Yeah. I was like, it's cool. Look, they're the pretty ones like Rumi had at the end. They're not like angry red ones.
They have a little pink in them. They're all great.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, it just made me laugh when they said that. I was like, oh my gosh, they kind of do look like that.
And it's so funny, kids. There's like they're so honest.
They are. They're brutally honest, but they mean well.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, yeah. So I think we have some questions from the community on this one, right?
Yes, we do. The first one is, how long until I see results and how often should I use it? And we kind of already talked about this. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, a little bit. We talked about it. So they really say like for the skin surface things like red light benefits, like fine wrinkle, things like that, fine lines, wrinkles. You can expect to see results within weeks. I think they said 2 to 4 weeks. You can start to see results.
4 to 8. 4 to 8.
Is it 4 to 8? I thought it was less for fine lines, but more for like scar repair and reduction. Like that takes 4 to 8. But it's pain relief that's in 1 to 2.
I was like, I didn't read that, but you could have read it. I was like, I didn't read that.
I kind of was going off of personal experience because I feel like after a couple of weeks, we could definitely start to see the difference just playing around with our face mask that we got. So
because you were saying that you haven't used it consistently, so you don't know if it has it, like you haven't done the before and after with your face mask. So you got to take your before, you got to legitimately do it for 4 weeks and then take it again. Actually,
exactly.
Week 2? No, how long do you think it's going to take? 4 to 8 weeks?
So I really feel like at 2 weeks, I was like this, because we tried it when we first got it a year ago. So we were using it and then we fell off and stopped, right? Consistency is key. That's the hardest thing about all of these things is if you're not consistent with it, you're not going to see the results.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to frequency, they say like 3 to 5 times a week, but you can get benefits from doing it every day. It just really depends on how much time you want to commit. And so something like a face mask is really great to work into your routine to do every day because you can just throw it on for 10 minutes even, or you can do 20. That's really up to you. 10 to 20 minutes is kind of that range to play with as far as time. And then, like I said, we try to do our goal is to do the face mask every night and to do the full body panel 3 to 5 times a week. So that's kind of, and then for pain relief, that can be within 1 to 2 weeks, which that's nice because that's why we use it. And we feel like, I don't feel like it takes a week to notice pain relief. I feel like it takes, but I'm also using it in conjunction with the cold plunge. So there's a lot of anti-inflammatory going on between the cold plunge and the red light therapy that I feel like within a couple of days, I'm feeling a difference. But the official research we did is 1 to 2 weeks.
For pain.
Yep, for pain. So the next question is, will red light therapy help reduce wrinkles and fine lines?
And it boosts the collagen and it stimulates your skin and its texture, and it changes its texture, which I think you noticed that. Didn't you notice that on yours? Your skin texture?
It helps a little with skin texture for sure. And I also just felt like an overall glow. Like, when you look at somebody and they just seem really vibrant and glowy, that was the difference that I noticed. Was it didn't look like, what's the word that I'm trying, like tired, like my skin looked healthier.
Yeah.
In general, like I had a glow,
Like when people say that you're pregnant, you have the pregnancy glow, but without being pregnant, which is even better.
Even better. Oh, that's so true.
They said that 70% of testers saw smoother skin after 4 to 6 weeks of a 10-minute session, 3 to 5 times a week. So that gives great results.
That's great. And that's what I want to really do, like a before and after pictures, because that's the problem I'm having the last 6 months is a skin texture issue where it's just different. It's changing and I don't like it. And if I can help get smoother skin, that's what I want to spend solid 4 weeks and do a before and after picture and just fill it out,
Yeah. No, I agree. I hope it works. I hope it is as good as everybody says it is. And I hope I see the same results as 70% of the testers.
Yeah, I do feel like I saw a difference in fine lines. Like I was kind of getting like a little bit of crow's feet and my little parenthesis, I felt like it improved. So
you mean like your older sister?
It's a family thing. We all got it. It's how you know we're related.
I don't know if it's a family thing or it's an age thing.
I think it depends on your face shape, probably, because a lot of people have. It's a very common thing, but I do not like getting older and having it be more pronounced.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. Another question we got was, is red light therapy safe for sensitive skin or rosacea?
Yes. Yep. It's generally safe. They say start low and go slow, right? Mm-hmm. Because you just want to make sure that you don't have any reactions or flare-ups. I do have a little bit of rosacea and I did not have any contraindications with red light therapy. I didn't have any flare-ups or anything like that.
And they also said that it's almost like getting a base tan. I don't know this though, so I am not the expert on tan. But
she is not.
But it is like it in the sense that if you slowly go out a little bit and then eventually you can, be out in the sun longer. Yes. And so it's kind of the same thing. If you go low and slow, you start slow and see how your skin reacts to it, and you can build up the intensity.
Yes. Yep. And it's kind of that was really one of the only, are there any risks or downsides to red light therapy? And the only one we could really find was some people are, what do they call it? Photosensitive or something, mm-hmm. where you could be taking medications or something that will make you very sensitive to light. Like if you were to go out in the sun, you'd, turn red and splotchy or whatever. You could have the same reaction to red light therapy. So you just kind of have to be careful and, pay attention to what you're on. I think it's certain kinds of antibiotics or something, but it's a very, very small portion of people that have that type of reaction. So again, if you're treading into this carefully and start low and slow, you can really catch those things early before you have a big problem. So
yeah.
So it's not too bad. I think overall, when we, took a look at this has been, I had dabbled in it a little bit before because my husband did a ton of research and was like, we definitely have to do this. But you hear somebody say it and then you actually look into it yourself and it's two different things. And I'm very excited about the potential here. I think this is definitely a must try. And we will be diving into this further. I will definitely be trying some stuff. So I'm sure we'll bring it up again because I do love to follow, circle back on stuff that we've been deciding to work into our routines.
Yep, if we ever follow back around hydration, I'm still not doing very well
Me neither. My ways to well follow-up was very stern with me. My doctor was like, what's going on? You're very dehydrated in this test. And I'm like, I know.
It's hard.
I don't know why it's so hard. Why is it so hard for women to drink water? Is it just like our generation? I don't even know.
Oh, you're so busy. Like you're so busy, you don't have time to go to the bathroom. So you don't drink the water, because you don't have time to go to the bathroom. Or I don't know.
Yes, but it's like we talk about mucking up like our mitochondria power plant. Like flipping A, man, we're not giving them anything to work with.
No, I know. We're not even getting them the road to drive on.
Seriously. So it's like, yes, circling back, we definitely got to work on this one more. This is definitely one of those ones that, again, a foundational principle that is mucking up other things. And so, red light therapy, it will be very interesting to follow back on scar repair. I feel like that's a big one we're looking into. And then skin rejuvenation in general, cellular energy. I could seriously use an energy boost, which is why I want to hit this one hard, get it right back into my protocol, because the goal, I've said my goals, but I'm not actively doing those right now. And so I've got to start doing those, right?
You got to track them on your habit tracker.
Yes. Yep. This is going to be one of those ones. I'm building a protocol step by step, and this is definitely part of it. So pain relief is definitely another one, and mood and sleep enhancement. Let's not forget that. And hormonal support, which we could all use. Let's be real.
And your pelvic biodome, or whatever they call it.
Microbiome.
Yeah, microbiome.
Yeah. Yep, that's a big one too.
Fascinating. That is interesting. And that
with like the wand, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's so many cool devices coming out that if they really do work the way they say they are, that's a game changer for a lot of women.
Yeah, I could talk about it all day, man. I think it's so fascinating. And I'm excited to just see the way that it works out. But I'm not afraid to experiment and try some of these things. So we are going to be hitting this one hard. So this is definitely one that we approve and will be working on. So
yes, we approve after doing the research that is worth diving into.
Yep. And like when you're talking about like investments, I feel like this is one that has so many versatile benefits that it just hits a lot of birds with one stone.
And it's something that your whole family could use, like that's another thing I like about it is once you have it, like your whole family can use it. It's not just one and one done.
That is so true. Like just the research that they've talked about with like babies with eczema and things like that, and very targeted red light, things like that. It has helped so much. So it really can be for your whole family. I want to get some for our mom, for our dad. Like I want to spread the wealth because this one seems like it could really help a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so innovative, not invasive.
Yes. Non-invasive, low risk, and relatively easy. You can stack this with other habits, which makes it so much more appealing, right? Because it's not just taking up, like when you're in the sauna, you really can't do anything else because you're just in it for 20 minutes and it's too hot to do anything else. So you just sit there and sweat. Besides meditate, that's all you can do. So I love it. It is really great. So, okay. Yeah. I think that's it for today. So we will just catch you guys next time. All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up. Let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.